Hello, I'm Linda from paperboutique.blogspot.com. I love my E2 and wanted to try cutting chipboard, so I decided to make coasters for my next martini and crafting party. Betsy and Julie, I hope you are listening. Here are the coasters that we're going to be making today. First, I'm going to walk through the assembly and then we'll go to the E2 and I will demo how to cut thick glitter paper and chipboard. Each of these coasters are from the Cricut American Alphabet cartridge that came with my E2. Well, I'll move some of them out of the way. All of the coasters are cut at 4.1 inches, or you could make them 4 1/4 inches if you're cutting in 1/4 inch increments. This first coaster is from page 58. Let me turn to page 58. I cut the doily shadow, the blackout, and the shadow. I cut 3 shadows, and let me show you why. I cut one shadow here, and I used glitter paper from the Die Cuts with a View glitter stack. It almost has a plastic feel to it. So I cut one shadow here, flipped it, or you could turn your paper over, and I cut a shadow for the background. And then I also cut one of the shadow with chipboard. And let's go on to the second one. The second coaster, this particular coaster, is from page 64. And I did the same thing. I cut one of each of the layers and 3 of the shadows. Oh, what I wanted to add is on this particular one I just punched a circle and added to this one, and this one I didn't add anything, I just used all of the layers. The third one is on page 65 and I added a punch circle to it, but other than that I think it's about a 3/4 inch punch circle. I just used the 4 layers. The moment I got this book, I looked at all of the wonderful accents and I thought, oh, they'd be perfect for coasters. The last coaster I made is on page 66, and once again I did the same thing, and there's tons more in here that you could would make gorgeous coasters. And I also punched a circle. Well, once I assembled my coasters, I needed to make them a little bit more durable. I tried using my Xyron on them to laminate both sides, but if you can see, there's quite a recessed area there, and the laminate just didn't work as well. But if you're using flatter layers, the laminate would be perfect. I decided, since these coasters were going to be used with martini glasses, they could be a little less durable. So what I did is I used Mod Podge, and I let it dry between layers, and I did 3 coats of Mod Podge, and it gives it a little glossy finish. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but when I'm using my Mod Podge, what I like to do is use a makeup sponge, and it's just a super soft sponge, and then I could get in between the recessed areas and just do my 3 coats. It was super easy with the makeup sponge. When I was attaching the individual layers before I used the Mod Podge, I just used a glue stick, and I also used my Zig 2-way glue pen around the more intricate areas. Well, what I'd like to do now is let's go to the E2 and I'll show you how to cut glitter paper and chipboard. Before we get started cutting glitter paper and chipboard, one of the things I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention in the first part of the video is when you cut the chipboard, you're going to do all of these layers, then you're going to glue the shadow to the chipboard, and then you'll see here's the chipboard in the inside, and then you'll turn it over, and then that will be the back of your coaster. I forgot to tell you where to put the chipboard. Well, let's go ahead and cut our glitter paper. I'm going to go in, and I'm on the American alphabet, and I'm going to go in and we're going to cut the shadow for this demo because we're going to be cutting the chipboard. We're going to need the blackout shadow and the shift key, and this is our image. I'm going to click on this, and all of the sizes, like I mentioned earlier, are going to be at 4.1. We're going to save this, save it again, and then we're going to go ahead and get ready to cut it. I'm not going to actually cut it, but I'm going to show you the settings and then I'll show you a final product. We'd load the mat, and then we'd hit the cut button. And what I have done is I've created a custom setting for glitter paper, and I'm going to show you quickly how you would do that. If you go in and change any of the settings, like if you were working on medium paper and you changed this to say 3, the speed of 3, once you save it and cut it and go out and go back in and then try to do something, it asks you if you want to save your setting. And at that point, a keyboard will pop up. And that's how I set my glitter paper. And I'll go down and you'll see there's my glitter paper. And for those of you that haven't worked with the glitter paper, it's the Die Cuts with a View glitter stack, and it's very, very thick glitter paper. So what I did is I changed the speed to 3, the pressure to 5, I did a multi-cut of 2, and original blade is set at 6. And just a couple of other things to remember when you're cutting chipboard and glitter paper. You want a very sticky mat, and I put down my glitter paper and then I use a Pampered Chef roller to really adhere it well to the mat, and a very sharp blade. And then I would go ahead and hit cut at this point, but I'm going to cancel out of there. And I'm going to show you that here is the glitter paper. And I don't know if you can tell how thick it is, but it's just a really nice sharp cut, a clean cut. Now I want to go and show you how to cut the chipboard. We'll just unload the mat because the machine won't let me reload it again. We've got the same shadow, and we're going to hit load, and then we're going to hit cut. And what I have done is I've done 2 settings for chipboard, and I'm going to share them both with you. One is my thin chipboard setting, which is, about the thickness of the back of a paper stack or something. It's fairly light chipboard. To cut that, I set my speed at 3, my pressure at 5, and my multi-cut at 2, and once again my original blade is at 6. But for this project I also tried a medium chipboard, and for that setting I have my speed at 3, my pressure at 5, and I did 3 multi-cuts. And what you'll want to do if you use the thicker chipboard is go ahead and do this at 4 cuts. And let me show you the chipboard, and it's a fairly, medium weight chipboard, and it cut very, very nicely and cleanly. But sometimes chipboard is a little bit more fibrous and you'll get not as clean a cut. What you can do is just take a paper file or a regular emery board and just go around the edges and file it down to get a smoother cut. But I just love the way that the E2 cut chipboard. Well, I'd like to thank you for watching, and please visit my blog at paperboutique.blogspot.com for more projects and ideas. Bye-bye.